Hello students, good morning. Now we study lead storage battery, its construction and working. Here the classification of galvanic cell is primary voltaic cell and secondary voltaic cell. The example of primary voltaic cell is dry cell. Okay. Now the secondary cell, which is used again and again by charging. So lead storage battery, that is lead accumulator. Lead accumulator stores electrical energy due to regeneration of original reactants during the recharging. It functions as galvanic cell and as an electrolytic cell. So here construction and working of this lead accumulator is like this. Here one figure is there. This is a lead storage battery. A group of lead plates packed with the spongy lead serves as a negative electrode. This is anode. Another group of lead plates bearing the lead oxides PbO2 serves as a cathode. Means positive plates, that is lead plates, negative plates, that is lead plates, called as anode, and positive plates, that is cathode, which is a lead plate impregnated with the lead oxides. And negative and positive plates, they are alternately fixed and provide a large reacting surface. The cell contains several plates of each type. Two types of plates are alternately arranged as shown this figure. Alternately arranged. The electrodes are immersed in an electrolytic aqueous solution of 38% of sulfuric acid of density 1.2 grams per milliliter. Now the notation of this cell, here there is no salt bridge. So here Pb, which acts as a anode. So here Pb in contact with here PbSO4. Why it is PbSO4? Because during the reaction here lead plates dipped into the sulfuric acid. During that charging and recharging, here Pb reacts with H2SO4 and to form PbSO4, and that's why this PbSO4, it is plated or surrounded on the lead plates, and therefore Pb in contact with PbSO4, again in contact with the 38% sulfuric acid. Then again cathode is PbO2, but it is here again PbSO4 is developed or deposited on it, and therefore H2SO4 single vertical line PbSO4, then PbO2, and lastly here Pb, means its notation is Pb single vertical line PbSO4 solid, then single vertical line 38% sulfuric acid, then again single vertical line PbSO4 solid, then PbO2 which is impregnated on Pb. So this is the notation of cell. Now cell reaction during the discharging. Here during discharging anode is negative and lead plates acts as a anode. Here at the lead plates, means at anode, here the reaction is just like this. At anode, Pb giving you Pb di positive plus 2 electron. This is electrode reactions on the anode. Now this Pb di positive, as it is deep into the sulfuric acid, therefore Pb di positive combined with SO4 di negative sulfate ion from the sulfuric acid, they combine to form the PbSO4. In this way this PbSO4 which is deposited on the lead plates, and that's why in the notation we consider that Pb in contact with PbSO4. This is overall, this anodic reaction is Pb plus SO4 di-negative, giving you PbSO4 plus 2 electron. Now this Pb di-positive and Pb di-positive, they are cancelled. Okay, this is the oxidation reaction at anode. So overall an oxidation reaction, Pb plus SO4 di-negative giving you PbSO4 plus 2 electron. Now the cathodic reaction, here PbO2 impregnated with the lead plates that acts as a cathode, and here cathode is a positive electrode. So here PbSO4, now PbSO4, PbO2, this is impregnated on the cathode. So PbO2 plus 4H positive ion from sulfuric acid plus remaining 2 electron. So we get here Pb di-positive plus twice H2O. Now this Pb di-positive plus SO4 di-negative giving you PbSO4. Okay, so here overall cell reaction, overall reduction reaction at cathode, that is PbO2 plus 4H positive plus SO4 di-negative plus 2 electron giving you PbSO4 plus twice H2. This is the overall reduction reaction. Now net cell reaction is just like this, oxidation plus reduction reaction, means here Pb plus PbO2 plus twice H2SO4 giving you PbSO4 twice PbSO4 plus twice H2O. This is overall cell reaction during discharging. Now at the time of charging, here potential of lead accumulator is 2 volt. It is must be recharged with the falling of the cell potential to 1.8 volt. To recharge the cell external potential slightly greater than 2 volt and needs to be applied across the electrode. Now during the recharging, oxidation at anode, but anode is a positive. This point is noted that there is, remember, during discharging anode is negative, but during charging anode is positive, and oxidation reaction which is takes place on a anode as usual. Okay, so at anode the reaction is just like PbSO4 plus twice H2O giving you PbO2 plus 4H positive plus SO4 di-negative plus 2 electron, which is just like opposite to the reduction reaction of the electrode which is takes place during discharging. Okay, then here reduction means here at cathode reaction, cathode here PbSO4 plus 2 electron giving you Pb plus SO4 di-negative. Here this is a reverse reaction of oxidation. First one reaction, reverse reaction of reduction, that is oxidation, and here reverse reaction oxidation, that is reduction, and which is takes place at the cathode. And overall cell reaction, that is PbSO4 plus twice H2O giving you Pb plus PbO2 plus H2SO4, just like this. See here. Now overall cell reaction during the recharging, that is twice PbSO4 plus twice H2O giving you here Pb plus PbO2 plus twice H2SO4, twice H2SO4. This is during charging, and if it is a reversible sign is there, then this is discharging, means this is discharging reaction and this is during the charging reaction. Then application of lead accumulator. Here some images are there. Now these images are there, and these are the applied form of lead accumulator. It is used as a source of direct current, that is DC current in laboratory. A 12-volt lead storage battery constructed by the connecting 6 2-volt cell in a series, which is used in automobiles and inverter. These cells which are used in automobiles as well as in a inverter. This is all about lead accumulator. Now, in addition to this, there is another and most useful cell, that is nickel cadmium cell, or it is also called as a NiCad storage cell. NiCad storage cell. Here there is a one just like this. This is called as a NiCad storage cell. Nickel cadmium cell is a secondary dry cell. In other words, it is a dry cell that can be recharged. So, students, here first two means earlier we studied here lead accumulator, and previous, that is before the lead accumulator we study the dry cell. But the disadvantage of that dry cell, it is once it is used it can be thrown, and advantage of this lead accumulator, it is used again and again, but still it contains sulfuric acid, 38% sulfuric acid, and that's why it is not handled properly. Hence, to overcome these disadvantage or limitations of above two cells, lead accumulator and dry cell, the another cell, that is a dry cell that can be recharged, and which is nothing but the NiCad cell. Here NiCad storage cell is a cadmium metal, means anode. Cadmium metal acts as a anode, and nickel with 4 oxidation state, it acts as a cathode. So NiO2 supported on the Ni, the electrolyte solution is basic in nature. So here the reactions are like this: cathode at anode, that is cadmium plus twice OH negative because of the basic medium, giving you CdOH by CdOH twice plus 2 electron. This is the anodic oxidation. And NiO2, this is impregnated on the cathode, that is nickel electrode, plus twice H2O give plus 2 electron, giving you again CdOH twice plus NiOH twice. Okay, these are the reactions which takes place on a cadmium. The reaction product at each electrode is solid. That others two electrodes surfaces, therefore the cell can be recharged, and the potential of the cell is about near about 1.4 volt. The cell has longer life than the other dry cells. It can be used in electronic watches, calculators, photographic equipments, etc. And the main advantage is it is used again and again by recharging, and that's why it has a long life period. Then mercury battery. Mercury battery is a secondary cell. Again, it is an example of secondary cell and can be recharged. The mercury battery consists of zinc electrode, amalgam amalgam with the mercury, and cathode is a paste of sulfuric Hg on and carbon. The electrolyte is strongly alkaline and made of paste of the potassium hydroxide and zinc oxide. The electrode reaction and net cell reaction is just like here on a dry cell. Here Zn plus twice OH negative due to basic media, giving you zinc oxide ZnO plus H2O plus 2 electron. Okay, this is oxidation, anodic oxidation, and because of amalgam, that is with mercury, here mercurous oxide is formed, and HgO plus H2O plus now here 2 electron, giving you here mercury liquid plus twice OH negative, and overall cell reaction that is Zn plus HgO, giving you ZnO plus Hg. Okay, this is mercury battery cell, or it is also called as a mercury battery. In our next video, we will take fuel cell, its construction and working, and electrochemical series.